Welcome to Soulful Spaces, Junk Journaling Techniques. Join me on this journey of creativity and faith as we are going to explore the art of junk journaling. So, we are going to be transforming ordinary materials into extraordinary works of art, all the while deepening our connection with God. Join me today in this episode of Soulful Spaces, where I am going to show you how I've been inspired the past few days by some of the other wonderful creators on YouTube to make some new style, new things, and using old book pages to add ephemera to our faith art journal. I've mentioned watching Treasure Books before, and again, I love Natasha from Treasure Books. She is the most creative woman. Her channel is divine in that every time I click on a video, I am so inspired, and she teaches me. And you have to understand that I've been doing this for 20 years, so it's kind of hard for me to find people who can teach me something that I don't know, and that's what I find every time when I go to her. Her latest video was making 25 things from book pages from one book. So she basically took an old Reader's Digest book and cut it apart and used all the papers and made 25 different projects. Some of them are things that I like, some of them not interested in, but it's a couple that I really enjoyed. But the most important point that I want to make to people who follow me is that when I watch other people's videos and they're making wonderful ephemera, I'm always thinking in my head, okay, that's really pretty, that's nice, I could make that, but how am I going to make that about my faith? How can I twist whatever they're doing into a faith art piece so that I'm constantly adding faith and spending time in God's Word in everything that I do when I junk journal? So taking a book, like I said, she had a Reader's Digest book, which had pictures and stuff like that in it. I don't have that kind of a book. I don't know that there's a Christian version. Maybe there was, and I haven't thought about it. But I always talk about book pages are wonderful, but the easiest, simplest, quickest way to add faith to any project that you're working on is to get a book that's already about faith. So this book I've had for years, I've read it a couple times, and I decided this is going to be a good one for me to take papers out of. And here's why it's so important that we, as faith artists, look at the actual words on a page. Now, if you're, if you're not a person of faith, you can use any book you want, right? I would suggest you read it, but for me, I want to make sure that all the words on the page point to my faith, point to God, and remind me of things. So as I take pages out of this book, I'm actually like, oh, yeah, that's right. So it's a quite quick, easy way to just read some more information. Now, this book is great because this is all about prayer. This whole book is all about prayer. Prayer that motivates God, prayer and desire, prayerless praying, secret prayer, and all that kind of stuff. So I just felt like this was a really good opportunity to take pages out of here. Another book that I pulled out of my stash of old books is a Bible dictionary. Now here's where I can get some pictures and things that would be fun. Again, this is old. I have another Bible dictionary, so I don't have a problem, taking this apart. So here's some pages. Now, I wish both of them had more yellowed pages, but they don't. But the quality of the paper in this one is actually pretty good. And see, here's some old graphics and stuff like that. So your first step as a person trying to add faith to make these wonderful things that I'm going to show you is get out a book that has some kind of a faith. Could be a devotional book. The one that I usually use is Knowing God by J.I. Packer, and that has nice yellowed pages. But I thought I'd go in my stash and see if I had any other books to use. So that's where my papers are coming from for this little project that I'm going to show you. So what she did was she made this stacked pocket page from the book pages. Now, here's what Diane did differently than her. I used, as I said, faith-based paper, and I'm going to show you how to make this. This is so quick and easy. one of the things that she added she added a backing to it. And I actually liked that idea because what I thought about was putting this in my journal, and I'm thinking about here, and I'm thinking that I want to make it levered so I could turn it over. So I could actually add more pockets on the back if I choose to, okay? So I just picked a pretty piece of my old scrapbook paper that I have in a giant pile that I thought would go pretty in my book. And then I used that as my backing and glued my first page onto there. And then I had some of the paper left as I cut it down. And so I used those pieces to do that. So let me show you how simple and easy it is to make that project. Now hold on, let me get my little papers out. Okay, so we're gonna make that project. So let me show you how to do this. And as she says, this is so simple. You don't really need to watch a whole video. So I took some of the pages, and one of the things that you can see is that I've trimmed off the blank white. Now you can leave that on, you can do whatever you want. So we're gonna trim, I've got 3 or 4 pages there. I'm gonna trim 4 at the same time. And we'll get that trimmed up, and basically I'm just cutting off the white edges is all we want to take off. So we're just going to put that in there and get that trimmed on that side. We'll take some off the bottom up to the page number, because you know me, I love numbers. I'm going to leave that page number on, and then we'll come over to this side. And then we'll just take some off the top. There we go. Okay, so now we have our 4 pages. Oops. We have our 4 pages ready to go. Okay. Now, as I said, I used a piece of scrapbook paper to attach this to, and guess what? I didn't grab one. So I'll be right back. I'm going to get that and show it to you. Pulled some paper out of my stash. And you know what's so funny? I've been doing this for over 20 years. I said, so I've got scrapbook paper that is so old that I've forgotten it. And then I pull it out and I go, oh, that was so pretty. How come I never used it? So basically I'm going to turn this one over because it's only one-sided. And what we're going to do is I'm going to glue my backing onto the paper, which will just basically give it, you know, some stability, some sturdiness. One of the other things that she talks about in her video, and I would totally agree with, is to make some of the fun things that she makes, is that she takes 3 pieces of the book page and puts it together. And I think that that actually works really well. It makes it more sturdy, especially if you're going to be cutting it with die cuts and stuff like that. So. Okay, let's do that, get that done. And white on white is actually kind of hard to see, huh? Okay, so here's our back page. And we've got these pieces left over, which we can decorate with. Okay, so here's, oh, this is so hard, right? Basically, I want the wording to be correctly to be able to be read. So what you do is you turn it over, and now it's upside down, right? And now I'm going to fold this up, and I'm going to figure out like how, well, actually you can just do it like this. How far down do I want to have my first pocket? So the number 3 there, I really don't like. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fold it because that'll give it some stability. But I love that prayer and trusting God will actually be showing on the top of my pocket. So look how cool that would be. Yes, see, there we go. So that would be the first one. And we'll take the next one. There's no special words on this. So now I'm going to set it here. This is how I determine, you know, where to fold it. So let's go probably about there. And you can do this with as many pockets as you want. This is all, you know, your preference. Okay, and we'll do one more. And again, I don't have any particular... Oh, let's go about right there. So I'm going to have to trim this, obviously. Now, hopefully I'm getting it straight. And you would think that would be easy because if I follow the lines of text, of course, they are straight. Okay, so let's trim this off. And then I think as soon as I edge it, it will give you the ability to see it better on my page, which is great. Okay, so there's my 4 pockets. So let's get those edged up. Let's take them back off. And I hope, as I said, oh, I didn't even cut that straight. That is so not straight, Diane. Oh, let me see. Let me get this and make it straight before I do all this. Let me draw a line that I can cut on. And of course, I don't have my pencil ready. Let's do that. Anyway, I hope that you will go and watch her. I love, like I said, I love her. She's in Australia. She's got a really fun accent. She's just really fun. And as I said, one of the suggestions that I have, and maybe you do this, maybe you never thought about doing it, is that I watch other people's videos all the time. I'm not stealing anything. They're inspiring me. And I always have a twist on whatever anybody makes, and my twist is always, okay, that looks really good. As I said, how am I going to add faith to that? How can I use that idea and bring God into it? And so that's why I feel comfortable sharing. Yes, Natasha just made this a week ago, and I'm not saying I created this. This is her. This is absolutely her ideas. I'm just showing you how to infuse your junk journals with God's Word, and you get to spend some time. Prayer and trusting God. Prayer does not stand alone. It is not an isolated duty or an independent principle. It lives in fellowship with other Christian duties. It's married to other principles and is a partner with other graces, but prayer is firmly joined to faith. Faith gives it color, tone, shapes its character, and secures its results. See? Interesting that I'm just hearing more about prayer because I'm reading it today. So like I said, I think this will be a little bit easier. Now you can see the lines for the pockets, right? Okay. So this would be the new one that I'm making. Now, let me show you what I also did on this one. As I said, I decided to use my stencils and some distress ink and just give it some interest in the back. So let me show you how I do that. Now, of course, you have to have stencils and you have to have some kind of an ink. Doesn't have to be distress ink, but, you know, have whatever one you want. So these are all, this size is all Tim Holtz, and you can see how old they are, because look how, yeah, they're not clean. These two are from Temu. Now, I like the leaves, but I'm not sure that I want to see that. Let's use this music. This is like, no, what is this? I can't even tell. Maybe it almost looks, oh, it is music. It's music. There we go, if you got it the right way. Music and leaves. Well, I guess it's all over the place. Okay, let's move my stuff. Basically, what you're going to do, let me figure out. The color that I used was, and I like it, and I think I might use it again, is Speckled Egg. And I showed you this last week in one of my other videos. I put a little piece of Velcro on there with my ink, with the pads that we use, right? And then I always have the color that it matches, and I don't have to go searching or go somewhere else. So we're going to do it the same color. That's okay, because I love this color. It's such a pretty, pretty blue. Now, obviously, we don't have to do the bottom because it all's covered up. So we're just trying to add a little bit of a background design to the paper. So let's see if we like that. Oh, that came out really pretty, didn't it? Yes, you can see the big leaf. Yes. Or feather. I'm sorry. I'm saying leaf. I think it's a feather. Let's go down just a little bit more because I didn't mark where I'm at. So that's all you have to do. Okay, we're going to do that one. And then this one, we could leave white, right? And then this one, why don't we put something on here? I think that would look good. So let's do that exact thing, but we'll just move it up so that we get a different part of the design. I'm sorry, I have to be really careful doing this because I shake my table and then it shakes my camera, and I apologize. It's hard to do this with not kind of pouncing on it. Oh, but that looks good. Oh, yes, look how pretty that is. Okay, oh, yes, see, I like that I switched. And then the bottom, we won't do anything on there. Okay, now the other thing, let's do this. Let's add the blue on as an edging, which will deepen it and give it a little bit more definition. So I like that. And then we're going to put that there. And you know, I showed you the envelopes, and I'm looking at my time. There's no way I'm going to do the envelopes. So we're just going to do this one piece today, and I'll do another video. So that would be how you put this together, okay? Now, I'm going to show you that you just glue it a little bit, and then you're going to take it to the sewing machine. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you know, that's okay. You don't have to have a sewing machine. I will tell you that you actually would use it a lot if you had one, number one. Number two, you don't have to go out and buy a really expensive one. The sewing machine that I had, well, when I first got married, 40 years ago, I did sew, and I made all the draperies and everything in my house. So I bought myself a pretty good, full features type of a sewing machine. And of course that, you know, I had it for forever, but it broke down. So I didn't have one for a while. And then when I started crafting again, I decided I'm just going to get a cheapo one. So I actually went to Walmart and I got one for like $69. And that's all I need because I just wanted to do some zigzag stitching. And that's what I did on this. So that would be that way. Now what we can do on this is, as I said, with these little pieces that are left over, look, we could trim that, right? We could cut. Let me get my little trimmer so I can cut them straight this time. We could trim and put those pieces on there. And then I'm going to show you how we can add more faith to this. Okay, so we've got that. And now let's just cut a little piece like that. And we'll cut another one. We'll just have 3. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but. So I can't really show you me sewing on the sewing machine because it's over on my other table, and it would take me so much work to get my camera to go over there. So see, we could do just like that, which is very pretty. I like that, but I don't want that. I don't want to cover up the prayer and trusting God. So maybe we just do like that, right? We could just do that, okay? So this, I will go ahead and finish, and you'll see it in the video, but like I said, I'm just going to go and sew all around. But I wanted to show you, once you get it done, now what do we do? So let's go over, get my book back out, and this is the one that I already made that I'm telling you, I think we're going to put it in like that. And then what would I add to it? I think it needs something. So I pulled out one of my butterflies. I think that's just what it really needs on this page. Now, where's my ink, my glue? Oh, there it is. I'm going to add that. And then if you've seen my video, I am doing the full deck challenge with Shanuki Art. So see, I love all these other crafters. We live in this wonderful world. For me, it's a wonderful world of creative people. Okay, so I'm gonna put that on there. And as I said, she's got the full deck challenge going. And if you watch my video, I've made enough up to 9. So I need to do 10 this week. But here's the extra tags that I made, and so I am going to include them right in there. And how am I adding faith? Because these are the verses for my word of the year, which is God reliant. So I'm adding more faith into this little book so that your faith might not rest in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. And that's 1 Corinthians 2:5. And then the next one, I love this. This is from my spinner kit. We must obey God rather than men, and that's Acts 5:29. So I thought these looked really pretty. Look, I can just stick those right in there. So as I mentioned in that video, and the same, I'll say it again, and this one is, if you're going to start and sit in collage and make one thing, like I showed you with these envelopes, which we'll do in the next video, and even this, you could make 3 or 4 of these at the exact same time. Then you already have them ready. Maybe you don't decorate them with color right now, and you do that when you're going to add it to whatever journal. And then this is a piece from one of my ephemera kits, and so it says faith makes all things possible. So I would put that in. So I've added additional faith, including talking about prayer on the background. So let me go ahead and attach this, and then we'll close up this video, and I'll do another one with how to make wonderful envelopes. Let me show you how I attach things with washi tape. So I have wide washi tape, which you need, and I lay it on the front, kind of like usually halfway, and then I flip it over, and this is probably what's different than what I've seen other people do. I do a back on here, and then that really secures the washi tape and really holds it down. And then, of course, what I should do, let's put some glue. This is okay washi tape, meaning it still has some stickum left, but let's make sure that we've got enough that it's really going to stick, because we're creating a hinge is what we're doing, and we want the hinge to be sturdy. Okay, go on there like that, because this does have a direction. I can trim that off, and then I'm going to lay it on there like that. There we go. And washi tape is just lightweight enough that you can manipulate it, and then if you glue it, as we just did, you actually can give it enough strength. It can definitely be a hinge. See how that works like that? So now you go back and forth like that. So I might add some more things to that, but I wanted to end this video today. So the lesson that I'm sharing with you today is, it's wonderful to use book pages. If you want to be a faith artist, then just get books that are about faith, whether they're a devotional, a dictionary, or something like that. But let's let God's words permeate and infuse our wonderful junk journals. And then you always have tags, because I'm always telling you, make a whole bunch of tags, and then you've got lots of tags to add into your faith art. Please like this video. Your encouragement and your comments just mean so much to me. It's a reinforcement for me that I'm sharing, so please share the video, the good news of Jesus Christ. And I certainly hope that you are subscribed to my channel. So please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that every time one of my videos pops up, you will get a notification, and then you can go and immerse and infuse your creative life with God's Word. Blessings.